That was amazing. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank each and every soul responsible for my being here. I had a wonderful, wonderful time in the schools. I hugged up with as many high school students as I could to get some of that young juice. You know, I took 1,000 selfies. It was amazing. But that was a perfect place for me. I love that. I love to see the discovery and the energy. And was very proud to represent the festival in the schools. Mark was a wonderful companion while we were rolling around, and I thought of all you guys while I was there, so thank you so, so much. Wow, okay, how's everybody doing? Good, good. What surfaces can I use this product on? Answer. Lysol may be used on hard, non-porous surfaces throughout your home. Lysol cleans, disinfects, and deodorizes regular and non-wax floors, non-wood cabinets, sinks, and garbage pails. For painted surfaces, it is recommended that the product first be tested in a small, inconspicuous area. Can Lysol be used in the kitchen? Answer. Lysol may be used on countertops, refrigerators, non-wood cabinets, sinks, stovetops, and microwave ovens. For the bathroom, it may be used for tiles, tubs, sinks, and porcelain. And for all around the house, it may be used on floors, garbage cans, in the basement, and in the garage. Can I use this in my refrigerator? Answer. Lysol may be used on the inside of a refrigerator. However, you must remove all food and rinse well after using the product. Can I use this to kill mold and mildew? Yes. Lysol controls the growth of mold and mildew. It kills the mold, but removal of the stain associated with mold and mildew can sometimes be tough. Can I use this to scrub the uncontrollable black from the surface of my daughter to make her less Negro and somehow less embarrassing to me? She's like the hour after midnight, that child is. Why, yes. Begin with one Sears gray swirl dinette set chair screeching across the hardwood on spindly steel legs. Place the offending child on the ruptured plastic of the seat. Demand that she bend her neck to grant you access to the damaged area. You know, of course, that black begins at the back of the neck. Grab a kitchen towel, a washcloth, or a sponge and soak with undiluted Lysol concentrate. Ignoring the howls of the impossibly Negro child, scrub vigorously until the offending black surrenders. There may be inflammation, a painful rebellion of skin, or slight bleeding. This is simply the first step to righteousness. The child must be punished for her lack of silky tresses, her broad, sinful nose, that dark Negroid blanket she wears. Layers of her must disappear. Precautionary statements: danger, corrosive to eyes and skin, harmful if swallowed, causes eye and skin damage. Do not get in eyes or on skin. Wear protective eyewear and rubber gloves when handling. Woman, your mission is beyond this. You must clean the child, burn the southern sun from her. If she squirms from the hurting, demand that she hold on to the sides of the chair. Soak towel or sponge with our patented holy water. Repeat application. I have tried to understand. Precautionary statements, my mother. Danger, her hatred of this. Corrosive to eyes and skin, of the me that wears this. Harmful if swallowed, the monster she had. Causes eye and skin damage, the monster she wanted. Do not get in eyes or on skin. Mama, can't you read it? You want me to read it to you? I can't help being my color. I am black. I am not dirty. I am black. I am not dirty. I am black. I am not dirty. What you have birthed upon me will not come off. My hair is black steel, too short to stay plaited. My ass is wide and will get wider. You can pinch my nose, but it will remain a landscape. You cannot reverse me. What is filthy to you will never be cleansed. There is only one thing you can change. I am not dirty, I am black. I am not dirty, I am black. I am not black, I am dirty. I am dirty black, not black. I am black and dirty. Dirt is black, black is dirty. You convinced me that I am what is wrong in this world. Scrub me right. Bleed me lighter. What is the difference between disinfection and sanitation? Why are there two different usage directions for each? Answer. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, disinfection is killing more than 99.99% of germs on hard, non-porous surfaces in 10 minutes and may pertain to a number of different types of bacteria. The EPA defines sanitation as killing 99.9% of bacteria in 5 minutes or less. Lysol products achieve sanitation in 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, done. Thank you. Inauguration Day 2008. On a slushed side street in the Bronx, an unswerving hustler attacks your smudged windshield with enterprise, sloshes the pane with dusty water, and rocks a feverish squeegee before you can mouth the word, no. Stunned at a sluggish stoplight, you have no choice but to force a smile and nod while he stretches the zealous machine of his body across your hood and whips the gritty soup round and round. It's a second before you notice that his mouth is moving, that although he leapt to his task without warning, he is now attempting to converse, as men do, to pass the time, to shoot the shit. You avoid the mouth, choosing instead to scan the dank street for anything. There is lots to see. Stands tiled with threadbare skull caps, shuttered houses of praise, the fragrant entrance to chicken ribs and such, the butcher shop with price tags pinned to sick meat. A city-assed woman drills her stilettos into concrete. But soon, you run short of diversion. He is still draped across your Corolla, swabbing, squeaking dry, mouthing. Damned insistent now, he thumbs on your windshield and the light has changed now, and behind you, drivers toot elegant fuck yous. You scramble for your wallet because, damn it, that's right, hell, you gotta pay the guy for the gray crisscross swiping that dims the chaos just enough. But what's the message of that mouth? He needs you to know something. Inside the huge wild O of his miming, there's a collision of collapsed teeth, and you slide your window down to a symphony of horn and pissed street spittle, and your hustler's message, what he had to get across before he let you pull away from that street light. Obama! 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 He spurt screeches, his eyes fevered with whiskey, and damn it all, no verbs or dormant, just Obama, as if his cleaning little life is stuck on triumph, as if that's all anybody needs to know this day. And as he leans in on replay screech with his one-word stanza, you notice that every single one of those teeth, tilted and pushing for real estate in his mouth, every single one of them is a gold like you've never seen before. Thank you. I'm an only child. I'm a daddy's girl. My mother and I have never really gotten along, and it's strange. Some students have been asking me about, writing about family, and it took me a long time to basically say if my mother and I were not related by blood, we would not be friends. And now she is professionally preparing to die. You know what I mean? She's like a roach. She's not going anywhere. But but she's going through like funeral home brochures, and then she'll say like, I went to a funeral last week and they set that man out. You need to find out where they got that casket. And I'm like, so. But now it's her stooped body in cue for the slab. Her blessed temperature you're fiddling with, and God's holy directive shifts accordingly. Your mother holds the tasteful funeral home brochures an inch from her eyes until their horrible words unblur, shakes her head at the insane cost of the gilded, Paul-born tribute she truly craves, ask again for what's ever cheap. May her Lord forgive you as you just keep shuffling that cremation info to the top of the pile. You remember how stupidly she bobs her napped head to the wagging finger of God, God again, always God, how resolutely she clutches all the bluish notes in gospel. For her, the fire next time is not a frugal means of disposing of soulless shells. It is payback for a life clawed together outside of her Savior's cold little classroom. Oh, never you mind the lesson she drilled into you after a handgun blasted your father out of the world, what she said to end your bouts of snot and fever, your worrisome new habits of snatching tufts of hair from your own head and screaming the onsets of dawn. Your daddy's not in that old body anymore. And you unrolled your eyes just in time to look that pliant, just in time to make her think you believed her. Now that she has refused the neat conclusion of ash, you are thinking of all the damned reams of paperwork glorious ceremony requires, the feel of scrawling your name over and over to officially end her. There will be too many syrupy flowers draped over everywhere, the casket lid flipped open, your oblivious mother's vaguely whorish makeup job. You dread the hearse's eerie creep through annoyed Ubers, the depressing pit, mourners sneaking cell snaps, taking note of your absence of ache. While this strange woman comparison shops, zeroing in on the pauper special, girl, what is a cloth casket? You remember years of screaming her name into a dead phone after she scrubbed her whole history of your needy little face. Now that she is frail and beholding, you should demand that she answer for that kind of love. Or you can love that way too. Go on, throw a match into her hair. It's like, what? Okay. Oh, that's the one I want to read. I just started. My hero is Gwendolyn Brooks. And I was trying to read different poems at all of the. I hope it's in this book. At all of the schools, and I had realized there were a lot of things that I hadn't read in a long time. So, and I did not pick my poems before I came here, so I'm doing that irritating thing where I'm looking for the poem and trying to act like I'm not looking for the poem, while you are saying, my God, I wish you would stop looking for that poem. And I'm looking in the wrong book. And I'm going to go to the table of contents where people usually find things like that. There it is, okay. So I'm from Chicago, Gwendolyn Brooks is from Chicago. She's like my girl. I'm from the West Side, I'm the part of town everybody tells you to stay away from. So, and I used to think when I was writing, I would always be looking past where I was. like I need to get out of here. And what Gwendolyn Brooks did is she made me stop and look and see that there were stories where I was standing. You know, wonderful stories, and I will never forget her for that. So this is To Keep From Saying Dead for Gwendolyn Brooks. Winter, with its numbing gust and giddy twist of ice, is gone now. It's time for warmth again. So where is Gwendolyn Brooks? Its huge shoulders slumped, Chicago craves her hobble, turns pissed and gray, undust her name. To know her, you need to ride her city's wide, watery hips. You need to inhale an obscene sausage smothered in gold-slipping onions while standing on a chaotic street cross where any jazz could be yours. You need to walk the hurting fields of the West Side, our slice of city burned to its bones in '68. Gobletts, the colored Bloomingdales, gone. Learners, where we learned pinafore, gone. No more havens for layaway. No more places to plop down $1 a week for PF flyers or wool jumpers with seams glued shut. The meat market with its bloody sawdust, torched, its proprietors now crisping languid under Florida sun. And flap-jowled Mayor Daley, our big benevolent murderous daddy, gifted us with high-rise castles crafted of dirty dollars, battered cans of bumpy milk, and free cheese. To know Gwen, you need to know the Alex, the only movie theater on the West Side, where frisky rats, big as toddlers, poked slow noses into your popcorn, then locked round eyes on Cleopatra Jones and sat confident and transfixed. After the movies and any street corner's fried lunch, we'd head to the store in the back of that fat man's house to surrender hoarded quarters for the latest 45, licorice in black or red, pork rinds, Boston baked beans, or fat sour pickles floating in a jar in the corner. The fat man's wife, Miss Caroline, plunged her hammy forearm into the brine, pulled out the exact pickle you pointed to, and shoved it deep into a single ply paper bag. Only the truly Negro would then poke a peppermint stick down the center of that pickle and slurp the dizzy of salt and sugar. We gnawed rock-stiff candy dots off paper columns, suffered lemon heads and red hots, pushed neon sweat socks down on Vaseline calves, and my Lord, we learned to switch. For a dime, the fat man would warm up the record player, click reject, and give us a hit of Miss Fontella Bass, her heart-broke heart clamoring for rescue, or Ruby Andrews steady wailing in a woman way. There were so many millions of each of us, ashy goddesses walking the wild West Side, strutting past sloped storefronts where brown meat and hogshead crowded the windows, past shuttered groceries and gas stations with punk boys iron our new undulating asses, past fashion palaces where almost no money satisfied our yearning for hollow glamour with cheap threads already unraveling. Observe the kick-ass angle of our crowns. Chicago girls just keep coming back. They don't hear you, they don't see you, they ain't never really needed you. They got the Holy Ghost in Garfield Park. On one city block, they got 100 ways to buy chicken. They jump rope sassy and barefoot in the dirt. They got the ooh-ah-chi-coo, the pink plastic clothesline underhand. They got the slip bone. They got the Gwen in them. Any jazz could be ours, and her jazz was. Unflinching in riotous head wrap and thick two shades, two stockings, she penned the soundtrack of We because she knew. Because she was skinny early church and not bending. Because no man could ever hold her the way Hurt did. Because she could peer at you over those Coke bottle specs, fast gal, and turn the sorry sight of you into her next poem. Each year she stays gone, we colored girls aimlessly bop and search dangerous places for music. Chicago bows its huge head and grudgingly accepts spring. God, if there is a you, there must surely still be a her. Stop the relentless seasons. Show us your face. Explain your skewed timing, your wacky choice of angels. Thank you. Thank you. Where's my time person? Yeah, no, I don't. These people are like, no, she doesn't. Okay. I have a child. She's not a child. She's a woman now, but I was on the road a lot, and some of you might know Michaela, and she was on the road with me when her period started. Sorry, men, for making you uncomfortable. She was on the road when her period started. We was in a hotel room, and she woke me up, and she was look, and so I know I had a choice right then. I could either say, "You are doomed forever on." Or I could turn it into this like celebration thing, right? So I was like, oh my God, this is great. We have to party when we get back. So when we got back home, we went to the dollar store and bought red feather boas, and we invited 5 of her friends over, and then we got them over to the house, and they're dancing to all this tribal music, like, So I thought, yeah, let's celebrate this. But later on, she cursed me out when she was 18. But anyway. So I was thinking about the role of blood. I was thinking of myself when I was 12, and remembering that. Well, anyway, this is the role of blood, kind of in our whatever. It's called the Blood Sonnets, and it has in here the fact that I slept with my husband, my husband now, while we were both still married to other people. Don't judge me. Might as well get you ready for that now. The Blood Sonnets. 1, me, age 12. Sure that I was dying, that I died, that the gush of iron smell and black thick splash signaled all my sin gone wide, I pried open the thin wobbly back of a record cabinet and crammed my underwear inside. My mother had told me nothing about my body, damned to swell, sprout hair, creak, and bleed toward old. So I hid the stiff-soiled Carters there among the music, wedged wrong in all that bladed jazz and blues I didn't dare dance to. Gangly child, I was still small, but too plumped to rest in my mama's lap. Stashing my music, I braced for her slap. 2, you and I, long ago. Brash, adulterous fools, you and I clash in a rented bed. This tryst ill-conceived, the longed-for coupling off by days. I bleed so much it seems a kill has taken place, my body grieving its harbor of woman, but do we slow? Think? Push apart? Stop? No. Believing this chaos faded, we're slow to see the sheets wide-streaked, scarlet, the fat drops peppering carpet, my thighs burned red until you deadpan. We better call the cops. Looks like murder. Somebody must be dead. Spent in the midst of our vicious crime, we phone our other lives and we lie about the time. 3, her. Yesterday. The purplish clot fascinated you, didn't it? The way it woke you and trembled in your jammies like a clue you hadn't asked for. You slid your hand inside the cleft, wiggled fingers stained with, "New me, Grandma." We rose that night and sistered for hours. Questions rained. Where's the egg? And answers were your right and my relief. I took final stock. Age 11, size 10 feet, my height. Oh God, my girl, my woman, the shock of sweet you lurching forward just might kill me. Let's ignore the creeping sands. Let's laugh and clasp each other's bloody hands. Thank you. Really, somebody, how much time do I have? Okay. On July 6, 2016, 32-year-old Philando Castile was pulled over by police in Falcon Heights, Minnesota, in a car with his girlfriend, Diamond Reynolds, and her 4-year-old daughter. After being asked for his license and registration, Castile told the officer that he had a legal firearm. He was told, "Don't pull it out," and even though he insisted that he would not, the officer shot him 7 times. The shooting and Castile's death was live streamed on Facebook by Diamond Reynolds. And this is about the 4-year-old in the back seat. 1. The Roadrunner is a beeping charmer, feather-tipped redhead, hooked to his lusty habit of turning the coyote into blooming asterisk and spectacular dust. It's believed that he has no soul. The coyote, bewildered and bulge-eyed, dies and dies and dies in a bloodless loop. His bones, ludicrously close to the sky, lance his nappy pelt and leave him deflated, as flat as the earth he tramples. Or he hurtles forehead first into sudden walls conjured by his turbo-footed rival and seems incredulous as his own skull splinters and falls to his feet. Or, sucked into a paint-by-numbers tornado, he is speedily disemboweled, and thanks to the rapid-fire array of boulders, anvils, catapults, and cannons, which betray him after the bird's sonic boom getaway, the coyote's spine habitually launches itself through the top of his head. And Lord, there he goes again. He falls. He's the undisputed master of the drop, descend, plummet, and plunge, the dive, tumble, the topple, from mountains, from needle-topped cliffs, from the kind of heights that can simply not exist without religion. He falls and smashes into the canyon floor with such force that his body smokes shut. And we fools think what we have always thought. Surely such a cascade has folded his needy soul into earth again. Surely he's joined the ancestors. But through it all, the coyote's fat heart is such a treacherous engine. Roadrunner beeps gleefully, draws in a breath, and before that breath is released, the killed coyote is whole, crazy, ravenous for fowl again. He doesn't seem to have learned his loud lesson. He doesn't care that he's been killed so much, so many thousands of times, killed like a black boy on a weekday. He doesn't care how many times he's been axed, blown open, set ablaze, needled with plump cartoon bullets. All that matters is that his skin is not broken. All that matters is that his bulged eyes never close. 2. Little kids talk about dead people as if they just laid down for a nap or went to the corner store. They'll be back. Just give them some cool water, a peanut butter and jelly, aspirin, maybe some magic. They'll come back. Look at that wolf thing. He fall off a whole mountain and he come back. That mouse, he keep on killing that cat Tom, just keep on killing and killing and killing him, and he come back. Elmer Fudd, he shoot Daffy Duck right in his head, twist his mouth all the way around, but that duck's all right. At age 4, children begin to grasp the idea that death is final. 3. Deanna Reynolds is the daughter of Diamond Reynolds, who is the girlfriend of Philando Castile, who is dead, far beyond the reach of aspirin or even magic. Deanna is 4 years old, but Deanna grew up fast, fed by the iron stench of Mama's boyfriend's blood soaking into the dim upholstery of a 97 Olds. She grew up when she heard her mother swear and snot weep while narrating a murder. That day she grew, wobbling hips and dark lipstick. She all of a sudden knew what's up with whiskey. She knew nightmare wider than sleep. He gonna stand up soon, Mama, though, right? Deanna was handed more history than she could hold. The not coming back, sorry of recaptured slaves beaten of their nouns, men as wind-scarred foliage, wizards who somehow suicide themselves in the back seats of squad cars with both left and right hands cuffed behind their backs. Just sing him a funny song, Mama, he wake up. But Deanna is beginning to see that belief in those Hanna-Barbera resurrections is a fool's errand. No use waiting for Philando to nail his finale in this sweltering car while Mama swirls in her sweat and screeches, fuck, fuck, fuck. And remember that wolf though? He fell real far, remember? And he was all right, Mama. but baby girl has locked eyes with another wolf, silver starred and grit. That's the one who did it, Mama screams. But that duck's mouth got shot off, Mama. The child slaps grown by glory ritual, baptized by a scarlet gush from somebody's daddy. Stand up, Lando, or somebody's boyfriend, or somebody's brother, or somebody's mama, or blood ain't real, Mama, it's just color. Or somebody's baby boy or baby girl or second cousin or somebody's auntie. Stop playing, Lando. You scaring Mama. Deanna, this time there will be no getting up, no standing, no more for Lando. But Mama, remember that cat? He named Tom, right? Get up, Lando. Lando is dead. He not dead. Deanna, there is no magic. I'm gonna talk to God, Mama. He's gone. People don't be gone, Mama, not like that on the TV, but he's dead. But Mama, he dead. Get up, Lando, you scaring me too. Still strapped in her car seat, bathed in the heat of fresh kill, baby girl stops summoning hoodoo, forgets fable, stops saying, but they always wake up. Behind her eyes, there's that cliched sorrow, that providence, and it screams through her body and bends it. With those eyes fixed on the new bottom floor of her life, she says her first words as a woman. Okay, Mama, okay, he dead. Now, please, Mama, stop cussing and screaming. I don't want you to get shooted, too. Okay. Oh, no, excuse me. Do this one. All right. After the 3,451st student has an epiphany and adorns a poem with the word soul, which he or she is then not able to define. Epigraph. When she slammed the door, I felt a darkness in my soul. Student. Soul has no real meaning, but everyone has it. Yet another student. First, you must understand exalted stank. Waver and undone edge, gaping screen door, meandering alleys and flap-mouthed kiss, stovetops sagging with pots bragging the improbable parts of pig. Then there's jelly jars and the sweet slosh of brown liquor, unplucked suppers, Chi-Town in the 60s, bellowed Lord have mercy, Aretha Franklin and John Lee Hooker, colored English, hell no, refusals to adhere, upped fist and middle finger, ash as a skin color and landscape nostrils, west side, best side, ah instead of 45 scrape free of harmony, mixtapes wound and rewound with that number 2 pencil, deltas and A5s and zetas, 5 betas, month-long grease, getting its skin on in that jar by the stove, mouse under that stove, skittering blue note until it dies, 8-hour funerals and Madeire's Carterwall up in the rafters, furious wag drooping the dance floor, ain't no way on Saturday night and ain't no way but one on Sunday morning, stunned jawline, rotten molars and ER aspirin, daddy's chewing on toothpicks all day long, nobody talking out loud about lips and noses, bop, and back that ass up, borders and boundaries, and that stay trembling, undersoul, overwhelmed, dog-tired aunties in that 6 a.m. chitlin assembly line, unapologetic hogs-headed hog maws and hard-fried chicken skin, and we just like it in public, the way your skin smells before someone really, really knows it, and that sweet stink after it's been loved on, slow grind against the bathroom wall, man inside woman, woman on woman, woman on man, man inside man, fingers inside everybody, playlist, cracking plaster, vile crevice and sugary swivel, ache in your mouth, the crook in your neck, the tinge in your belly, the limp in your pimp walk, the idling motor in your American ass, backhand slap, bandana do, sweated flat, wars all over the TV, temptation, miracle, supreme, dead David Ruffin, and where did Coco Taylor pull that voice up from? Sharkskin slacks, lavender alligator kicks, droop denim, butt crack, goddamn, finally soul train, line time, slide electric, patch cabbage, twine time, time, twist like you did last summer. How the body jumps, 41 bullets. How the body jumps in your grandmama's backyard. How the body jumps into his chalk outline. How the body jumps, oh God, in gushing wound. How the body jumps, blue rotating light and back road. How that body jumps, it's tag toe, it's resilience, it's repeat, it's remix. How that beautiful brown body jumps and jumps, dancing to a loop of that one blues lyric, growled by an elder with a one-syllable sickness for a name. Until you understand the muted hallelujah struggling for path out of that man's throat, you'll stumble through your soundless life minus the knowledge of swag and eking forward on just one non-functioning hip. You've been bamboozled into believing that soul is an abstract, a cliche that cannot be seen or held, a catch-all for poli-sci majors in the back row of poetry classes who rely on their souls for passing grades. Their souls are lonely when new love leaves them. Their souls are sleepy in the morning, worn out at night. Their souls are encouraged. Their souls are all the colors. Their souls belong to this God or that one. Their souls are Italian or Dominican or Jewish or Mexican or Irish or elsewhere. Their souls are in the clutches of their mamas, their lovers, their religion, their hard-headed country. Their souls whimper in every syllable of every tortured iambic line, and the professor says, Lord, let me give these children these C's, these D's, these incomplete, so their aimless baby souls will whimper elsewhere. If you need a laugh sometime, just sit back and watch them search for their souls. In their food, out their back door, in the recesses of their young lovers' mouths. Watch them scan the pages of romance novels and Chicken Soup for the Soul, the songs on all the wrong records. Watch them ask their mamas what happened. What happened? Where could their souls possibly be? Ask anyone and they will swear they have a soul, rooted in some blurred paradise or some flourishing perdition. It's inside me, they'll tell you. It governs my body. It squeezes my heart. It controls my tongue, but this stank doesn't belong to one anybody or anything, not hanging out any one where. If we tried to harbor its chaos in our bodies, we would die. Soul had its birth in the ravaged black body. Jump back, babe, jump back. It found unearned light in a fold of that body, a fold that was forced. Jump back, babe, jump back. That was nasty, but slowly cramming with glory. Soul nestled there for a month of Sundays. Jump back, baby, jump back. It found its voice when it bent down, opened its mouth. I'm gonna tell you all of it. He sang, jump back, baby, jump back. In Mississippi and Arkansas and Alabama and Tennessee. Jump back, baby, jump back. In Watson, Camden, and South Central. Oh, James Brown stepped into the limelight and twisted to the beat he put down. Soul slip slides through a particular blood. Jump back, baby, jump back, dimmed pink by the Tallahatchie, a bodega and Baptist blood, of 4 hours in the middle of the damn street in Ferguson blood. Jump back, baby, jump back, a hands cuffed but suicide in the back of a police cruiser blood, a cottonwood branches blood, but all the time, a newborn blood, a one more time, a relentless. Who said black folks like roaches? Can't kill them, you step on them, they throw those heads back and laugh. We resolute, we rebel, we rebel, and damn it, we remember. Okay, we are almost finished. Almost. All right, so this book is called Incendiary Art. Thank you. And I often ask my students, as Mark so kindly said, to listen for the voices they're not hearing. And this book was written at a time when a lot of young black men and women were losing their lives, many times but not always, at the hands of the police. And the voice you don't hear in those stories is the mother's voice. You hear the mother twice, once when they come to tell her that her child is dead, and the next time when they come to tell her that the person who killed her child is not guilty of killing her child. And then they disappear. So I'm not going to explain this. You guys are miraculous, and you're smart and wonderful. So I'm just going to read. That's my son crumpled there, My son collapsed there. My son lying there. My son positioned there. My daughter repositioned there. My daughter as exhibit A there. My daughter dumped over there. My son hidden away there. My son blue there. My son dangling there. My son caged there. My daughter on the gurney there. My daughter on the slab there. My daughter splayed there. My son locked down there. My son hanging there. My son bleeding out there. My son growing frigid there. My daughter deposited there. My son inside the chalk there, my daughter being bagged there, my son on the slab there, my son crushed there, my son rearranged there, my son crumpled in the door there, my daughter's neck shrinking in the noose there, my son's left eye over there, my son as exhibit B there, my son behind the wheel there, my son under the wheel there, my son slumped over the wheel there, my son, my daughter, blooded and not moving, in the doorway, on the stoop, down the block, in front of her kids, just inside the barbershop, face down in the street, outside the bodega, inside the bodega, in the back alley behind the bodega, on the videotape a block from home, leaving home, hanging out at home, in the schoolyard, on the blacktop, in his bed, in her kitchen, in my arms, in my arms, in my arms. That's my son, shot to look thug. That's my daughter, shot to look more animal, shot as kill, shot as prey, shot as conquest, shot as solution, shot as lesson, shot as warning, shot as comeback, shot as payback, shot for sport, shot for history. That's my son not being alive anymore there. That's my child coming to rest one layer below the surface of the rest of my life there. Oh, that's okay. Thank you. August 19th, 2014, St. Louis, Louisiana. Kajim Powell, 25, was accused of shoplifting donuts and energy drinks. Police say the mentally disturbed man approached with a knife in an overhand grip. They shot him dead 15 seconds after they arrived. Video shows that Powell's empty hands were at his sides. I am the mother of that darkest magician. His 1,000 limbs thrash in and out of my practice sightline. He is always behind, beside, and in front of you. He lunges for your neck while whistling on a side street 3 blocks away. Firepower throbs in every finger of his bound or idle hands. No matter where he is the leading man in the stuttering convenience store video. If he is not there, he will be. If he hasn't, he is about to. If a blade's not in his hand, it's in his hand. If his hands are up, they're clawing through his pockets for something. If he's screeching, "Don't shoot," he's clearly saying, "Please, I'm tired. Help me fall down." March 3, 2014, Iberia Parish, Louisiana. Police say that Victor White III, 22, shot himself while handcuffed in the back of a police cruiser. November 19, 2013, Durham, North Carolina. Police say that Jesus Herrera, 17, shot himself while handcuffed in the back of a police cruiser. July 29, 2012, Jonesboro, Arkansas. Police say that Chavis Carter, 21, shot himself while handcuffed in the back of a police cruiser. He reached back and found his own hands with his own hands, worked his bound fingers to set his free fingers loose, then used that shackled hand to free the other shackled hand, and the freed shackled hand, still shackled, was still bound to the other hand once both were free. Once free in the shackled hands turned to the matter of the gun, which couldn't be there because they'd searched my baby twice, and a gun is a pretty big thing unless it isn't, unless it is dreamed alive by hands that believe they are no longer shackled. Stunned in cuffs, but free and searching, the left and right hands found a gun with a stink like voodoo, a gun that couldn't have been there, wasn't there, but was. The left-handed him used a cuffed hand, which could have either been left or right, since both were free, to root around for a trigger and fire a bullet right into the left-handed head. Impossible, but not really, since the preferred killing hand may have preferred its shackles. The policeman, who had searched my baby twice and cuffed both his free and unfree hands behind his back before his hands found his own hands and pulled, heard no human sound at all during all that frantic magic. No fuck as my boy struggled to get his left shackled hand to do what his right shackled hand wouldn't do. No frenzied pound of one bracing foot against the door. No grunt or whoop of glee to mark all those times he slipped out of custody and in again. But they heard the bang of the gun that wasn't there but was, just when it sent that bullet into the right side of his left-handed head. Sounds like sacrifice, they thought. Slumped, eyes cocked and undone, my child was amazed at the sweet hoodoo he had managed. Both left and right hands were shackled and free behind him. There was an eerie, perfect circle of smoke in his hair. Suicide, they both said. And since it was odd how they had reached the same conclusion, they smiled and shook their heads. Noting the shackles, they praised their God in the light of miracle, while the boy who couldn't have done what he did, but did, bled down to zero. Guess he couldn't take it, one of the alive said to the other. He didn't mean wearing the shackles. He meant not wearing them. March 12, 2012, Pasadena, California. Kendrick McDade, 19, was chased and shot 7 times by 2 police officers after a 911 caller falsely reported being robbed at gunpoint by 2 black men. McDade's final words were, "Why did they shoot me?" Because walk, because upright, because Africa, because decision, because Tuesday, because loaded gun, because running, because too black, because identified, because uniform, because breathless, because unable, because America, because yo mama, because Mississippi, because uniform again, because Obama, because the chase, because unarmed, because convenient, because mistaken, because threatened, because ritual, because no one will miss you, because beast, because innocent, because they could, because they could, because they could, because they could. I usually give my boys names anybody can remember. Scapegoat, target, perp walk, oversight. The name Kendrick so squashed his potential, he should have been victim, identify, bullseye, miracle. How about accident? Perfect. I never had children. I just had accidents. September 14th, 2013, Bradfield Farms, North Carolina. After being involved in a traffic accident, Jonathan Farrell, 24, knocked on the door of a nearby house for help. The woman inside called the police. They arrived and shot him 10 times. My son said, "I just had an accident. I need to use a phone." She said, "You're black." My son said, "It'll only take a minute. I need to call the police." She heard, "Call the police." My son said, I know it's late, but I just had an accident." She said, 911. He said, "Oh, okay then, you'll call 911? She said, "You're black." The police said, "Is he black?" She said, "He's black." When the gun arrived, it said, "I just had an accident." The gun 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 said, Once I put this baby into the ground, I'm ready. This means war." Geneva Reed Veal, mother of Sandra Bland, addressing the congregation of Johnson Phillip All Faiths Church, Prairie View, Texas. I don't expect you'll recognize my voice. No matter that I populate your world with demons and obstructions, dangerous assumptions. I'm the mother of the hung, the misted head, the pistol whipped, the hands that found the hands, the tasered crazy girl, and all the magic reel that you can stand. I thought perhaps I'd let you see that I am flesh and bone and pulse, that in the night I wail with the want of my children, and yes, I know I entertain you, digitized, my break and fall, rewound, replayed, and tabbed. But now I fight my own collapse, that ugly twist that grief brings to my face to make you laugh. I'm here to say their bodies weren't at war with you. I'm here to say their bodies weren't at war with you. I am here to say their wars were in their bodies. And the battlefield was always yours, was always yours, was all. Okay, where's my time? One more? One more. Okay, I got time for one? Okay. Oh, wow. That's easy enough to say, but. Oh. Okay, I'll do. I think I did this here before. I'm trying to read something so everybody doesn't go rolling out and driving nooses around their necks. Just trying to figure out something. Oh, I know, I'll do this. It's in this book. This is easy enough. Okay, so I watch a lot of bad movies. And so this poem was written after watching Clash of the Titans. Not the last one. The last one sucked. The first one with the Ray Harryhausen special effects. So you know when you're getting ready for work and you glance at the TV and the skeletons are fighting and you call in sick? You're like, I have to see the rest of this. Yeah, that's my movie. So after watching the really eerie, weird Medusa part of it, I love it. It's all dark and she's like, you know. So I said, well, how did Medusa become Medusa? I used to read a lot of mythology, but I couldn't remember. So Medusa messed up because she fooled around with the wrong man, like a lot of us do. She made love to Poseidon in Athena's temple. And Athena was like, oh, no, you didn't. So Athena was the one who said, boo, snake hair, ooh, men to stone, you know. So this is a poem as Medusa's body is going through these changes. It's like an 8-minute introduction. It's a 1-minute poem. But I'm going to take a really quick drink of water. It's a poem in Medusa's voice. Poseidon was easier than most. He calls himself a god, but he fell beneath my fingers with more shaking than any mortal. He wept when my robe fell from my shoulders. I made him bend his back for me, listen to his screams break like waves. We defile that temple the way it should be defiled, squirming and bucking our way from corner to corner. You know, the bitch goddess probably got a real kick out of that. I'm sure I'll be hearing from her. She'll give me nightmares for a week or so that I can handle, or she'll turn the water in my well into blood. I'll scream when I see it, and that'll be that. Maybe my first child will be born with the head of a fish. I'm not even sure it was worth it, Poseidon pounding away at me like a madman, losing his immortal mind because of the way my copper skin swells in moonlight. Now my arms smoke and itch. Hard scales are rising on my wrists like armor. Come on, Athena, he was just another lay, and not a particularly good one at that, even though he could spit steam from his fingers. I won't touch him again, promise. And we didn't mean to drop to our knees in your temple, but our bodies were so hot and misaligned. It's not every day a gal gets to sample a god, you know that. Why are you being so rough on me? I feel my eyes twisting, the lids crusting over and boiling, the pupils glowing like red coals. Athena, woman to woman, could you have resisted him? Would you have been able to wait for the proper place, the right moment to jump those immortal bones? Now my feet are tangled with hair, my ears are gone, my back is curving and my lips have grown numb. My garden boy just shattered at my feet. Damn it, Athena, take away my father's gold, send me away to live with lepers, give me a pimple or two. But my face, to have men never again gaze at my face, growing stupid in anticipation of that first touch, how can any woman live like that? How can I watch their warm bodies turn to rock when their only sin was desiring me? They just want to see me sweat. They just want to touch my face and run their fingers through my hair. Is it moving? Thank you all very much. You guys, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all very much, thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Miles. Thanks, everybody.